Hi everybody, Wade Fowler here with Red River Lumber. We're on site today and I've got one of my friendly contractors installing some MoistureShield Composite Decking. They use the 1x6 grooved Elevate Canoe Series decking, which makes for, as you can see, makes for a beautiful seamless deck design. They use a hidden fastener, which means there won't be any screws or nails to pop up and get your feet. As we come around, you can see that they haven't started on the steps yet, and you'll see some black tape on the joist system, on the sub-assembly. Of course, this is called joist tape. Joist tape makes a barrier. When they use the screw on the composite, it makes a moisture barrier and sheds that water off of the wood. So that will add up to 10 years on your wooden joist and sub-assembly. It's a very inexpensive way to protect your deck, and you not only have to use it on composite decking, you can use it on treated wood decks. But it's a great product to use and will save you a lot of money in the long run. One thing we might mention is Kevin has blocked this deck. Composite decking, the manufacturer's like a minimum of 16-inch on center on your joisting system. And that's what they used on this particular project, which gives a great foundation to the decking product. This is actually the Elevate series, which is a fluted bottom. With the fluted bottom, the manufacturer prefers, they want you to use a 12-inch on center, but 16 is fine. If you went on this particular project, or I'm sorry, with this product on a 24-inch wide, you'd probably get a little flexing of the product. You can walk on this and it's just as solid as a rock, because it was properly designed and properly installed by Kevin and his crew.
The owner and I were looking at it earlier, and he was talking about it feels more solid than it ever did with the wood. And I told him, I said, well, maybe some of it is the blocking, but the other advantage of it is we can get this in 20-foot lengths, so there's no seams. So the whole thing is tied together in one piece, and then the clips tie each piece together so it works more like one sheet over a whole 20 by 25, so it just makes more of an engineered floor.
And the clips Kevin's talking about is the MoistureShield clip. You'll hear people refer to them as a hidden fastener, but this goes, anytime you see a composite decking by any manufacturer that's got the groove in the side, it's made specifically for the hidden fastener. And my personal opinion, it just makes for a beautiful, seamless deck. And again, there's no nails or anything to pop up down the road that could get you barefoot.
No places to catch dirt, and also the most important part is no places for moisture to get down inside. That's what makes the nails and screws pop. Moisture gets down inside, makes it expand,
really?
And pull something back.
Great point,
And
I learned something.
Yes, and they're adjustable. You see, like these are still loose. See how that's up? We can raise that up and down to meet any point. Right now it's still up because we've got to get these next pieces in, and then we can tighten it up. The way they built it, you can actually get to the screws in between each deck board.
See, when you're working with guys that have done this so long, you learn something. Every time I come out here, I learn something. This, of course, you can see they've trimmed it. This is a 12-inch trim piece, 12-inch by 12 foot, and it previously, if I recall, this had wasn't it 1x or 2x treated lumber?
Regular deck board.
And this just gives the decking project a whole different dimension when you have the wider trim on here, and then you have the 6-inch boards on top. What are you going to do? So you're going to do the boards
Once
up
we
here?
finish the stairs, we're actually going to use some of the same trim material and dress the edge, just like we would a staircase inside a finished home to cover, like you said, the fluted. So we got a trimming here and a little approach over there we're going to trim. But it's working really well. It's a good product.
MoistureShield has been around quite a while. It's manufactured up in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Oh, is it?
Yep, and
Hometown stuff, local stuff. I like that, don't
it's they ought to call it a Razorback shield or something.
Right.
But yeah, it has been around a while and will continue to be around. Of course, Red River Lumber Company we carry basically the 3 top manufacturers of composite. MoistureShield, we also carry the Trex product line, and we also carry TimberTech. All 3 lines extremely well made and have great warranties, and the advantages of MoistureShield is completely impervious to moisture and insects. You never have to paint or stain composite decking. So yes, you may pay a little more up front for the product, but on the back end, it's gonna more than pay for itself.
We actually built this exact deck about 9 years ago, I believe.
With treated lumber.
With treated lumber, yes. And we skinned it with treated, and we were here doing some more repairs for the homeowner, updates on the outside. And he said, you want another? He said, I'd like to see about getting the deck restained or refinished. And of course, 8 or 9 years with the treated lumber, there's gonna be some boards we're gonna have to replace. So there's gonna be some labor. So we're going to replace some of that and then getting the cost on having it refinished or stained, washed and stained. And he said, well, and then that's what I was saying, MoistureShield's done a good job of getting the price point down closer to the, closing the gap up on the treated, where it's like, it's time you take those other factors out, our labor is gonna be the same of putting on this or the treated lumber. So to go ahead and upgrade to a product that's gonna be there and stand the test. That's what he wanted, something we're not gonna have to restain. And
they'll love it. They will absolutely love it.
Well, that's what we shoot for, right? And I like the tape. You taught me that it performs well on that. I'll tell you something else it does. It hides the joist through there as you're seeing it down through there. One, it's like putting a little shingle roof on each joist. If you look where we pulled those other boards off, you can see water markings. So it's basically like a little roof on each joist, but being the color it is, your clips kind of blend right in. And you can't see, it just makes it look really well, finished out nice.
You got that, I believe that's right at a 1/4 inch spacing for the contraction expansion of the product. So these
exactly
automatically do the spacing for the installer.
With treated now, years ago when I first started, we'd put a little gap in there. Now, if you put a 1/4 inch crack in treated lumber and I left it there for about a month or 2, it would be 1/2 inch or 5/8 in there. So now treated, you have to push it together and let it do its shrinking.
What? Because treated lumber would
still
shrink.
drying.
It's still drying.
Still drying. This isn't supposed to do any shrinking.
No.
It just makes for a clean line.
So you would actually, if you were to use a treated lumber as your material, you would actually have to use a kiln dried treated to not worry about any of the shrinking.
Even the kiln drying though, it's still going to shrink some.
Really?
I know, yes. I know you've seen it. We've had trouble with it. And it may not be all of them, but a few boards will shrink more. It's just it's not an engineered product like that. So some's going to shrink more, some's going to dry out a little more.
Yeah, I remember when I came out here the first day when y'all started the demo, you actually had somebody here look like boats.
Yeah, that's right.
They were bowed.
Yeah,
they popped the nails out and they were bowed.
That was rocking chair lumber that missed their calling. That's what we call that.